Man, I'll tell you, it's super dreary here, Worcester, Massachusetts. Super dreary, cold, overcast. It is such fall weather here. I love every second of it. It's a bunch of people like, oh man, rain. So yeah. I'm like, yep. I'm gonna put on my bathing suit and go sit up by the pool, man. It's perfect weather.
I hate shitty weather, man.
Shitty weather's the
I like
best.
when it's bright and sunny. When it's bright and sunny, it gives me so much energy. And it makes me feel great, man. But you know what else gives me tons of energy? It makes me feel great, Brian.
Prozac?
No. PSVR Gamescast Live.
Oh, well.
And all the cats in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should start the show.
Maybe we should. Go ahead.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and thank God it's Friday. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole, and my heavy metal partner in crime is AJ from PSVR Underground. PSVR Underground.
What is up, Brian? What is up, Game Cats? Happy Friday, TGIF. Man, you know, I love it when I tell you a great headline and you do the complete opposite, Brian. Makes me so excited, but I am excited.
Oh, good.
Because we have
good. Tell the cats.
Much.
Tell the cats out there what you wanted the headline to be.
We're going to be talking about some Gran Turismo 7, baby.
Gran Turismo 7?
Gen PSVR.
You mean some non-news? Some non-news?
Well, somebody, if you didn't do your homework, maybe. Ooh, let's just wait and find out.
Hold on. Let me get to work. I can make this way more clickbaity. 1 second. Hold on.
Give Brian a second to go read.
Games is gonna fucking love this shit. Hold on. All right. Well, updated thumbnail on the way. Guys, real quick. Obviously, we do this on YouTube. If you didn't know already, then this is up on Spotify. It's up on Apple Podcasts and a bunch of other streaming services. So make sure you go check that out. If you're not interested in staring at our faces, although I can't imagine why you wouldn't want that. Whoa. Did you see that? Dude, yeah. Tornado's out of her mind today. She is all over the place. But before we begin the show, I want to make sure we give a shout out to Professor Lilith, who started the show off with a $5 tip. Says, Sunday multiplayer is Wipeout for September 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern. The poll for October 3rd goes up Monday, September 20th. Thanks to all the Game Cats who took over while I was sick. Thank you, Professor Lilith, for making sure this all goes down without a hitch. And thank you to Game Cats who helped Professor Lilith out. We also have a $2.50, £2.50. That's how you say that. All You Are Is History, the Game Shrimp, who wrote, R.I.P. Tubbs, gone but never forgotten. Tubbs is the fat cat in Nekawatsume. It didn't end well. Poor Tubbs. R.I.P. 2021 to 2021. We also get Jay Meow with a $2 tip. Says, AJ, talk about Gran Turismo 7. Don't worry, we're going to let him talk about Gran Turismo 7.
Oh, yes. We're going to get on it.
He's going to talk about all the non-news that came out. We also got Seabass Plays with the Canadian $2 tip. Says, make sure to check Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Those are a lot of words I'm not familiar with. I haven't played a Test Drive game since Test Drive 3 on PC like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking like 97, 98's the last time I played a Test Drive game.
It's been a while, but thanks, Seabass. Good to see you, man. It's been a while since I've seen your name around here. All right. Make sure you join our Discord. That's the housekeeping. Join the Discord. Links in the description. That's where these conversations happen 24/7. And speaking of these conversations, and all the awesome cats that hang out with us, including the cats down below.
Did you just dab? Was that a dab you just did?
I got a burp, man. I had a burp. I was trying not to do it into the microphone. Guys, if your name's not on that Patreon list down below, patreon.com/withoutparolegames, these are the people keeping the channel running, obviously along with all the people who are watching the channel, watching advertisements, and, of course, donating during the show. But those aren't the only people we want to thank. AJ, are they?
No, man, it's Friday, so it is time to shine the spotlight on you out there.
Oh, out there.
Who change your name to something GameCat related, something GameCat adjacent, as you and something GameCat adjacent would like to say. And this week, we have 2 new GameCats to welcome to the GameCat Dojo. Starting with Drippy the GameCat.
Drippy's. Oh, hold on. Where's the ding? There was a ding. There's a ding too early, but there's Drippy. Drippy's a comic book character or something, right? Who's Drippy? Is that something?
That's a question for Drippy, man. I don't know. We've also
Where
got
are you, Drippy? Tell us the answer.
Mad Max, the Hellsweeper VR Gamecat Witness.
Bing. Hell yeah, man. Mad Max changed his name a couple of times. He's loving Hellsweeper over there, though. I can't wait for that to be a PSVR 2 title.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to that. Devil May Cry is one of my favorite franchises ever. And, yeah, I'm super excited to get my hands on that one. I'm also a big fan of Sirento.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Mixed Realms is, looks like they're going to make another great Sirento-style game. We got Belrami of the GameCat in the chat with the €2 saying, you need more tips. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you giving us another tip. Jamie out with the $2 tip says, I'm with AJ. Gran Turismo 7, PSVR 2 should be the title. Okay. Well, that's very interesting. I can't wait to talk about it for 5 minutes later in the show. All right. Here, let's clear the screen to some of these cats here, and we'll get this show on the road, man.
Brian hates anything that isn't Neku Atsume, okay? If it doesn't have cats, he doesn't want to dedicate any time to it. How can you blame the guy?
That's true, man. That is actually pretty true. But I also just really hate clickbait. Like, I do my absolute best not to support clickbait, even though we're on YouTube. I feel like clickbait is the only way to survive. What are you going to do? AJ, we have a metric ton of news to talk about today, but I do have to say, before we even get started, did you check? Have you seen the trophy list since the PlayStation 5 updated?
No, but I did get that update installed because there were supposed to be like a bunch of new features, a bunch of new UI things, and really they cleaned up a little bit of it, but like they talk about, oh, you can customize your dashboard, all this stuff. Not really. It's like basically the same. Like maybe the only thing I've really noticed is that they've eliminated like one extra options you have to like navigate through to be able to like send screenshots or messages to people, but I wasn't really impressed.
But I keep checking trophy lists because I'm about to platinum Swordsman VR. I'm about to platinum. We'll be platinum eventually Neko Atsume. But now they look more like PlayStation 4 trophy lists. They're no longer across the bottom in those tiles. They're now vertical, just like they were on PlayStation 4, and they're so much easier to read. All the information you need is right there. It's very, very convenient. And so I'm loving trophy lists again on PlayStation 5. So that was a much-needed update. Thank God we got that one. Nihilus Ryan, the Game Feline with the $5 tip, says somebody say something about needing more tips. Heart.
Oh,
thank you so much.
I love
Nihilus
saying
Ryan.
his name like this, dude. Nihilus Ryan, the Game Feline.
It's so evil.
I don't know.
Nihilus Ryan, Game Feline. All right.
It sounds metal. It sounds like a metal singer or something.
Or something, for sure. All right, dude. Let's kick the show off, man. We got a lot to talk about. What's our first news story?
Our first news story, because, oh, man, and by the way, let me just say again, I am super excited. This is a jam-packed show. We have a lot to go over, but we're going to kick things off with the top 10 most downloaded that have VR like modes that were added later, like No Man's Sky. It doesn't include stuff like that, or Resident Evil 7 doesn't include stuff like that, and also doesn't include physical copies sold. But at number 10, making its way back onto the top 10 downloads is Batman Arkham VR.
Must have been because of that sale, right? I mean, that had to have been part of that. It's a great jumping off point, man, for PSVR players, but it is a little shocking to see it on the list.
An oldie but a goodie, right? I mean, this thing. I still think we're gonna get a full-fledged Batman game on PSVR 2, which they kind of like teased that back in the day. Wasn't there supposed to be a follow-up to that demo? I thought I remember, and then they never did. So
which demo?
Maybe it's been in production for not a demo. Sorry, the Batman Arkham VR. I remember around that time, I thought there was like rumors or something about them potentially making or they had maybe said something, hinted at it. But so I still believe it'll happen. I want a real game because that Gotham City is absolutely gorgeous and really cool.
Yeah, I could see that being very much a hybrid game. Yeah, this is again when the hybrid games are going to be the lifeblood of third-party games on PlayStation VR 2, I think. And so I could totally see that being the case. Be like, hey, man, give us a first-person mode. All right, sweet. Let's use the orbs. Real quick, before we get to the next one, we get Scott Jesco, PSN Harry Fellow, PSVR Gamecat for Life with €4.50. Says, pizza slice from the front line. I'll watch in 8 hours when I get home from another night shift, but it's my weekend off. So it's VR all weekend. Yay. Hashtag hire AJ. Thank you so much, Future Past Scott Jesco. We also got Mad Max, the Hellsweeper VR Gamecat. Speak of the devil with the $5 tip. Says, drippy equals swaggy. The SSD update working perfectly. Nice. The tracking trophies, so much easier now. Plus, more tips train. Hashtag witness. Hashtag hire AJ. Hashtag Mad Max guest host. Whoa.
Yes.
I may have to rescind your tip, man. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much.
I love his passion, man. He's such a passionate being. I love it. Keep it up, Mad Max.
We also going to see more spooky game cats with the $2 tip. Says this isn't a tip. It's for the hire AJ fund. Hashtag hire AJ. And out in full force. It's fucking.
How did you miss his name? See more spooky cats. Game cats.
Dude, hashtag GameCats in the comments. Because
that's right.
I don't. If it doesn't show up when I search for it, I can't do it, man. It's like I've seen 2 already during this show that I'm like, that would have been perfect. Next week's show, we'll give you a shout out if you put hashtag GameCat in the comments of a video somewhere, not here.
Maybe he was waiting for October.
That would be perfect.
Kick off the month.
That would
hashtag
be
GameCat. That's all you got to put. All right, guys. Number 9. We've got
rolling number 9.
Yes, Creed: Rise to Glory.
Yeah, good game.
Boxing game by Servios.
Good game, but it's sold on name recognition.
Yes, but still pretty cool. Also goes on sale for quite often.
Mm-hmm.
At number 8, here we go. Now we're talking The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. Still wish it was at number 1.
Yep.
But happy to see a game that we hold to such high regard in the top 10. That's where it needs to be every single month.
Yep. Agreed.
At number 7, we've got Swordsman VR, another one that continues to make the top 10 list. Makes me super happy to see this because I love Swordsman. And we're also going to be talking more about Swordsman here in just a little bit. Some awesome stuff going on here.
Keep it going.
At number 6, at number 6, we've got Gorn. The other, it's like Swordsman covered in rubber. Actually, I played some Gorn on the last Saturday stream, and I had an absolute blast, man. That game really is awesome. It kind of bothers me how it has like perfect physics and then just coats everything in bouncy rubber. But still, fun game.
You got me thinking. It's like Swordsman covered in rubber. I saw when I was playing Swordsman today. I saw in the weapons store, the blacksmith area, that there was an optional screen that hasn't been activated yet about character skins. Hey Alec, if you're out there, we need a Swordsman covered in rubber, latex, something, man. Maybe with a dog face. I don't know, something that's sexy.
At number 5, Super Hot.
Oh, nice.
Super Hot. Yes. As per the course, as usual, still there.
Selling despite the controversy. I like it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much controversy. Just a couple people lashing out, but anyways, still a well-deserved thing. No matter how many times this game makes the top 10, I will be okay with that because Super Hot's a fantastic game. So, but what's not a fantastic game, in my opinion, is Rick and Morty Virtual Reality. At number 4.
Yeah, sold on name recognition. It's ridiculous. It's a less fun, less good job simulator.
Yeah. I mean, Rick and Morty fan and didn't really enjoy it, but
it needs 10 times more content, man. It's they need DLC and shit for that. I thought it was okay, but it didn't get anywhere. Anyway.
Yeah. At number 3, we've got The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim VR.
That's right where it needs to be.
That's cool with that. That's another one that I think should have been always top 10.
Yeah, people keep rebuying Skyrim on every platform. That belongs there. It's if you're going to rebuy Skyrim on every platform, this is the one you should have.
Yes. At number 2, we've got Job Simulator.
There it is.
Shocker there.
Yep.
Job Simulator. And then finally at number 1, of course, again, Beat Saber.
Again, right where it belongs. This is, if you pick up a PSVR headset and you are what's the first thing I should buy? Beat Saber should be there on the top of your list somewhere. So a lot of this makes sense for first-time PSVR owners. There is a problem though. If the sales are reflecting new PSVR gamers only, that means a lot of the new games are not going to see this list ever, right? Or until they go on sale in a year or so. It's a problem. It's definitely a problem. If these sales are reflecting first-time PSVR gamers, it's like where have all the gamers gone? Because there should be millions and millions and millions of people out there playing their PSVR headset that own these games already. And so making Arashi hit the list and Blair Witch hit the list. I know this is August, so like that.
What did we have? We had a huge August. We had Arashi, Blair Witch, Fracked, Synth Riders.
Right. But if you didn't come out at the very beginning of the month, you might not hit the sales chart. Is what I'm saying. So maybe we'll see some of that infiltrate next month. But I don't get the feeling that we will. These lists are always the same.
Yeah, and I blame, honestly, that's really disheartening to me. Like nothing against the games that are on this list. I like a lot of them, but there are some, like we said, that are usually typically purchased by new, kind of newcomers to VR. Yeah. And it sucks that even like Sniper Elite made the last top 10 at number 3, but then now has disappeared again. And I hate to call Sony out, but I really blame their crappy marketing. This is what I said was going to happen. I said, look, if you want people to actually buy these games, you have to do something more than a stupid little blog post. And, as great as the sentiment was, I know they meant to kind of show these games in a prideful way, but no, it is not effective. Their marketing sucks for VR, for PSVR. People think PSVR is dead in many ways, and I don't blame them because their marketing sucks. And I hope this isn't something that we see next gen. I don't think it's going to be, but man, if they do, then that's going to be really bad. It makes me so mad that these games, that a lot of deserving games came out and did all these newer implemented features that we want, like move support and immersive features and all these things, and it wasn't enough. Meanwhile, other platforms can have just whatever and do really well because the platform is being supported. And for me, I'm putting this one on Sony.
Yeah, I agree with you that Sony's marketing sucks, but there's no way in hell I believe that's why these games aren't selling. I don't think these games aren't selling because people don't know about them. I think a good majority of the population has put down their PSVR headset, picked up a Quest, or are playing flat screen games, and they just kind of don't care right now. PSVR right now, I think, is being held up by people who just bought it this year or people who bought it recently. And so that's why these top sales charts reflect new PlayStation VR owners, what they're buying. That's why Beat Saber's on the list, Job Simulator's on the list. That's otherwise we would be seeing these other games. I don't think that current PlayStation VR gamers, people who have been playing for years, aren't aware of these games out there. I think they're very aware, and they're just like, I'm waiting for PSVR 2. I think it's just over, man, and I don't think any amount of marketing can bring this headset back from life support. It's doing great, and there's a lot of great stuff happening on PlayStation VR 1 for people who own it already and are paying attention and care and want to keep playing it, but it's too little too late at this point. Like you said, Sony's marketing kind of sucks, and Facebook has convinced everyone that Quest 2 is far superior, even though it's like running on a PS3. So I mean, there's just no way around it, and I actually think that Sony's doing the smart thing by spending money on getting some games out there for PlayStation VR 1 gamers instead of marketing, and they're saving their marketing money for PlayStation VR 2. Save your money for the headset that has a chance.
Well, I don't know, man. I think that there's still some life in this headset, and I think it's better.
I agree.
And I think it's better than the public perception.
Also agree.
Is shown, and that's all that I ask for. I don't think it needs the front and center, but it needs a little bit more. I've had problems with their marketing with PSVR since almost day one. Yeah. I mean, I've always had. So it's not like, oh, they're just giving up now. No, I'm talking about from the beginning. I've had tons of issues with their marketing, and I feel like this whole spotlight thing that they just had, it was nothing really. It didn't really do much. So I don't know.
Before we move on, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
All right, before we move on, I want to make sure we've got all the tips that came in. We got Barglesoft with the £5 saying, "Is it fun to get AJ higher?" I mean, we can certainly work on that.
What's up, Bargle? AGT Jack Bauer says, "I don't think it's Sony. The developer needs to push the games." True. I mean, also developers need to market their games as well. But I have a feeling that sometimes the marketing rights are like held by Sony. So
sometimes, yeah.
They can be. It's happened all throughout the years. And so not every single one you can just blame them when they can't even promote their own game because Sony says, "No, give it to us. We'll take care of it." And then they don't do anything for them. So it's not just one thing, but yeah. Hopefully this is something we see change in the future. But congratulations to those that made the top 10.
Big time. Donatello, the Scientist Gamecat with the $10 tip says, "Do you believe this list reflects big franchised games from sales, or is this list progressive? It's weird that games this year are not more represented on this list."
This is a big franchise games.
I would say most of these games are on there, again, because of first-time PSVR owners. They picked up and they bought a bunch. You remember when we bought our PSVR headsets at the beginning? Everyone bought like 20 games. They bought like everything you get your hands on. It's like these are the first games people are going to when they pick up a PSVR headset now. And I think that's where most of this list comes from. The games this year are not represented because they haven't been on sale. And I do think that if you picked up a PSVR headset in the last month, you probably looked at the sale list and were like, "Oh, wait, what are all the must-haves from the sale?" So I think that's a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah, our channels and our community is growing and getting stronger every day, which is great. But outside of our community, everything is like dwindling to nothing. I mean, these PSVR communities on like Reset Era are almost gone. Even the subreddit for PSVR is the lowest I've ever seen it. It's like 300 people online, and I'm like, what the hell, guys?
I'm so sad about the subreddit. Oh no, not the subreddit. Oh God. Oh, anything but Reddit.
Hey man, Reddit. I want to be communities, PSVR communities everywhere. I'm happy that we're leading the charge, but I would like really strong PSVR communities all over the place. And
I totally agree with you.
It's only going to benefit this. But anyways,
moving on. Matthias Barbosa with the $2 tip that says, "I appreciate you guys." We appreciate you too, Matthias. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Matthias.
All right. I saw Sin's here, Alex here in the chat. Did you hear the thing about the latex? Get on that, man. All right, dude. Let's talk about some news. Speaking of Alex Sin, I just looked at the run of the show. I was like, oh, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, actually, that is so right before. There's been so much news that broke right before GAMESCAST that we had to. It was like scrambling to get to. But yeah, somebody pinged me in the Discord and they said, "Hey, you're going to check out the Swordsman update." And I was like, "Oh shit, we got something else that popped up." And yeah, the Swordsman Advanced Weapon Handling update is now live. And Brian, you and I both got to check it out for a split second, but there's more. But I want to hear your first impressions first.
My first impressions are great. I really enjoyed this. I loved. I feel like it's been a while since I played Swordsman. Maybe I didn't play the last update or the last two updates or whatever it was, but I jumped into this one and man, everything felt good. The physics felt better than they've ever felt before.
Yes.
And so I don't know.
So let's start there. Let's start there real quick. That was the first thing I noticed before I jumped in and started playing. And yes, you can hold the swords in like all these goofy ways. But as I was fighting, like I actually was like was sword fighting, and I was like, this feels cleaner. Like usually I've always praised Swordsman's physics. I think they're some of the best, just brutal melee combat physics that we have on PSVR and really interactive. And I noticed they were super clean, a lot cleaner. And then I went to the patch notes, and sure enough, it said improved like physics and hit detection. And
okay.
that's so that was part of the update.
That's excellent to hear. Yeah, everything just felt good. Everything just felt like it worked the way that it was supposed to. I didn't see any goofiness. And yeah, man, like the second I picked up a sword, obviously I'm testing out the new things in the update. So my first mission was to toss the thing up in the air and then catch it by its blade, which I can't imagine is the safest thing to do in real life. And then just use that and just bash people over the head with the hilt. And that was so much fun, man. I was having a blast doing that. And that's pretty much all I did for about 10 minutes until I saw that there was a mod for the cursed axe where you could turn off the curse of the cursed axe. And I was like, I fucking love the cursed axe except for the curse part. So I went and equipped that. I went in to the arena and just started like, killing dudes with it. And my favorite part was that, yeah, of course, I jab it into somebody's skull. And then I was like, oh, dude won't come out of it, right? And then there's another guy over here. So I'm shaking the axe like this, trying to get the dude to fall out of the axe. And then I'm punching this other dude and grabbing him and pushing it. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. This is a full-fledged fighting game now. Like, they've really, all of these small little updates have finally come together for me and been like, you can do anything. Like, everything just works so well now.
Yeah, and I noticed especially there was two things physics-wise that I thought worked a lot better. One was like cutting off their heads. It felt just a little bit more precise when doing it versus just like kind of swinging in the vicinity and their head goes flying off. And the other thing was like knocking out their weapons from their hands. It's like a lot easier to do that now. As well. And then there was one more thing, of course. There's actually another thing, but in terms of like physics and all that, the axes, they now stick into people pretty good too. Yeah. It's nice. Like you stab them in the head and then they come with it and then you yank it out. And it felt like maybe it could use a little tweaking to it, but for the most part, it felt really good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, just before we continue here, I just want to make sure we knock out a couple tips before we get too far away from them. And the first one comes to us from Tax Refund, the Decalogue. Did I get that right? Without thinking about it? The Decalogue defines right and wrong GameCat. You see, Tax Refund taught me something. $5 tip says, when you say give us $1 or more, is AJ entitled to 50%? Hashtag split the tips. Who's watching the double everything books, hashtag love thy neighbor as thyself. Wow.
Let me answer that, Brian. Let me answer that. No, these tips for this show go to Without Parole, and I am aware of that, and I want you to keep donating because this is the mothership, man. This is the lifeblood of everything. If you want to support me directly, you are more than welcome to come to my channel, PSVR Underground, and support me there with donations. Or I have a Patreon, that you can come to, and I will do that. But no, I am here because I want to be here supporting the cause, supporting the movement, because I believe in what we're doing. So I really love you guys for your support. But yeah, this is all towards Without Parole.
And to clarify,
that's the way we want it to be.
To clarify, when we get to a certain amount on a Patreon, then that's when we're like, oh, there's enough money here for me to hire AJ and split the Patreon money with him, and then we figure the tip shit out, at that point. But right now, this is two very separate entities, and once Patreon gets to a certain amount, and we can both take a salary from that, then absolutely, man, it's going to be crazy. And it's going to be awesome.
We are building this thing with your guys' help. So can just appreciate the support, and we're going to keep working hard for you guys.
Sit in studio with the Canadian $10 tip says, you guys are awesome. If you like this one, the November/December update is going to blow your socks off. That's what we love hearing now. Like, thank you so much for the donation.
Hell yeah. Speaking of which, Brian, well, go ahead.
Well, I was actually going to bring up exactly what you're going to bring up. So take it away.
The Easter egg?
Yeah, that's right.
Alec is doing some Ready Player One shit with this update because after I jumped out, so we had like no time. And I jumped into the game. I got them fiddle around for a little bit. There was also like advanced chronokinesis, but that's for another day. But then I went to Twitter and I saw that he posted about it. And then he said at the very bottom of his thread, Easter egg. And he says the update features an Easter egg teasing an upcoming gameplay mechanic. It can be found in the arena map. Let us know if you find it. This Easter egg is a prototype and is not representative of the final product. So he's in the chat teasing about some, what do you say, November, December update.
Yep.
Now, when I saw this, it was like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, shit, okay, I got to jump back in again. I fired up my PSVR, jumped back in, I played the arena. Did you, Brian? I happened to find the Easter egg.
I didn't find the Easter egg because I didn't spend enough time with it, and I didn't see the Easter egg mention until after I was done playing. So I wasn't even on the lookout for it. So I am. Did you?
Well, so again, like it like channeled my inner Ready Player One. I was just like, we got to go find the Easter egg. And I found some things that I thought I noticed, but I don't know if I found it or not. Maybe he can let me know if this is it. I don't think I did, but what I did notice was that there was two different things. Number one, it looked like there was barrels in the arena, and I went up to the barrel and like I actually picked one up and was able to like pick it up and move it and throw it.
I didn't notice. And this is amazing.
Yeah. And I tried to break them open and it wouldn't work. Like I said, I was really limited on time, but that was the first thing I saw. The other thing I saw, which I don't know if was in there before, was like it looked like some buildings in the background, and I don't know if those were always there. If I just happened to miss those before, so those were either additional just decorative background stuff, but it looked like some buildings or a town was in the background, and so. Those were the only two things that I really had time that I thought I noticed. And so like I was like, I don't know. Looking at those buildings and towns, I was like, maybe there's gonna be like towns or levels or something. I have no idea, but
no idea. But that's I'm kind of glad we don't know, because I don't want to be out here being like, hey, we found the Easter egg. So very, I think barrels would be great. I think items in the environment to use instead of weapons, to be able to pick something up and just like throw it like Donkey Kong at a bunch of enemies would be amazing. Just roll them down. It'd be amazing.
Yeah. I was definitely thinking Donkey Kong when I was barrels, Donkey Kong Easter egg. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know, but he's gonna turn Swordsman into a platformer. But yeah, man, ready player game cats, man, get in there over the weekend and see if you can find this Easter egg and help us figure it out, man. Let's see what we do. A town hub, maybe? Says Seymour. I don't know.
I would love a town hub. I want exploration in a game that doesn't warrant exploration. Like when I was playing the horde map, the zombie horde map, I wanted to find things in that map. I wanted to pick up a potion and drink it down and like refill my life. I wanted to open treasure chests and find shit. Like, it's not a game about exploration, but man, do I ever want exploration in this game.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's it for the update. It is out now. Go play it. Go see if you can find that Easter egg. And there's a Swordsman thread in our Discord. Make sure you join our Discord and check it all out, man. We'll find it together.
Absolutely. Can we make J Meow happy now?
We can make J Meow happy now.
Well, we'll try our fucking best, I guess. We'll see what happens.
Because
all right, and we're back. Whew. Okay. So,
all right.
So there was an interview with who now?
There's an interview with Kazunori Yamauchi, the head of Gran Turismo franchise, and it's from Eurogamer, an interview with Martin Robinson, the deputy editor over there. And we're big fans of actually Eurogamer, especially what's his name?
Ian Higton, man.
Dude.
Ian's
always
dude.
Makes an appearance. Yes, always makes an appearance on our award show. And but this spotlight today is about Martin Robinson and his interview. They call it the big Gran Turismo 7 interview. So let's get the most important thing out of the way first. And he was asked about VR. And he says, one last question regarding some of the finer details. Are you going to implement VR across the board this time as opposed to the limited cases available in Gran Turismo Sport? And Kazunori Yamauchi responded and said, so regarding PSVR, we're not at a state where we can talk about it yet. Dun, dun, dun. Yet. So, Brian, did he just kind of like, I mean, look, I already know with deepest of my heart fibers that Gran Turismo 7 is going to get VR support, most likely on the next generation headset. But he's never said any comment other than, he's said some things in the past saying like, the biggest change that is going to happen to this game moving forward in the future is going to be VR, and that's the biggest effect that PS5 is going to have on the game. But yeah, did he just kind of like unofficially say that it's yes happening, but he can't talk about it yet because PSVR 2 is not announced?
I mean, PSVR 2's announced, right?
Well, yes.
And so,
Sort of.
I mean, the controllers were revealed, and they said there'll be more information throughout the course of the year. I mean, they said it's happening, so it's been announced, like officially. So yes, it's announced. I think the reason he said yet is because of this rumored December event. I don't think Sony wants Polyphony talking about PSVR 2 at all, because if this rumored PSVR 2 event in December turns out to be true, then I guarantee Gran Turismo 7 is going to be one of the spotlighted titles there, and they're going to go, and look how amazing Gran Turismo. And so this would, asking this guy and getting an answer in an interview would definitely deflate some of that, because Sony wants to make such an impact with PlayStation VR 2. Show off the headset, show how amazing games are, and this guy saying, oh yeah, it'll have PSVR 2 support, deflates a little bit of that, I think. What do you think?
Well, I definitely think somewhere between December to February is when we're going to get our big showcase event with the headset reveal with all the games. And once that happens, I feel like they're going to the floodgates will be open and people will be able to announce their games alongside Sony or independently and talk about it a little bit more freely. But I don't think until the headset's shown, I think there's a lot still being kept under wraps, and there's a lot of people that can't talk about anything yet for those two reasons.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, we don't have any doubt that this will have PlayStation VR 2 support. Gran Turismo Sport had good PlayStation VR 1 support. Eventually, it kept growing and growing and being its own thing. But it never.
It's a strong word.
Yeah, I mean, how many hours did you put into it?
I think about 15.
That's good enough. And by good enough, I mean it wasn't good enough. We wanted the whole campaign in VR. Yeah. We wanted every single mode in VR. So it wasn't good enough, but it's, to say, hey, if you're playing this game anyway, this is a pretty cool mode. It looked amazing, played amazing. So, but yeah, the fact that it had it in there, and there were interviews with him earlier on saying, we would have liked to do more, but it was really, he went on record saying that they couldn't do it because of the OG PS4, which is crazy for that word to get out of anyone related to Sony. I bet Sony wasn't very happy with that statement.
Right.
So
right. They were definitely limited in what they were able to accomplish with the PS4 hardware, not the PSVR headset, but the PS4 hardware, because the way it was, it had to be able to render the picture twice.
Right.
And we're likely going to have a completely different system with PSVR 2. It might not be this be the similar thing where it has to produce it twice. Yeah. Or will it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I mean, I feel 100% confident this will be PlayStation VR 2. The question, I think, more than anything else is, since this will be a cross-platform game, it will be on PlayStation 4, do you think there will be a PSVR 1, even a mode? I don't expect it to be more than what Gran Turismo Sport had, but do you even expect to get that much on PSVR 1?
I saw old Darth asking that, will GT7 have any PSVR 1 support? That's an interesting question, he says. And I thought about this too. I'm going to have to say no, though. Maybe at best a limited mode like GT Sport had.
Yeah.
But I really don't think so. I think this is going to be a next-gen VR title. Otherwise, I feel like we would have heard more about a PSVR 1 version by now. If that was a thing, I feel like we would have heard about it already. But no, they're saving that for PSVR 2. And that's really what their focus is going to be on. It's going to be about selling PSVR 2 headsets. And I think this is a huge headset seller. It is for me, even if I wasn't already really invested,
right.
It would already be a headset seller for me for sure.
Yeah, I've already said a bunch of times that this will be the first time I buy. I mean, I've had wheels before, but I want to go like super pro with it. I want it to be the best wheel on the market. I want to be able to get the whole roll cage type thing where you sit inside of it with the driver's seat and get the pedals right where they're supposed to be. I want this to be right next to my couch or just take the place of my couch because I'm definitely out of room around here. And so I'm going to spend a lot of time playing the campaign of Gran Turismo 7 in VR. Very excited for this.
Yes.
And as far as the PlayStation 4 PSVR 1 thing goes, I think they're going to use the same game engine that Gran Turismo Sport used. They're not going to create a new game engine for a PlayStation 4 title when the one they have works great. So I would expect maybe a similar PlayStation VR 1 mode in Gran Turismo 7 on PS4, but then
At
full
best.
thing. Yeah, at best. Yeah, it could be a PlayStation VR 2 selling point to say, we couldn't do it over here on PlayStation 4. Come play the entire thing on PlayStation 5 and VR.
In their defense, they only stopped supporting Gran Turismo Sport like a couple months ago or something. Like they were updating it constantly, and I was checking it out. They were adding new levels. There's a ton of maps, a bunch of cars, and every DLC the cars worked in VR. So, but before we move on to the next thing, though, there's a couple more tidbits from this interview that I want to touch on because, again, I'm going to go ahead and mention these because I fully believe Gran Turismo 7 is going to be a PSVR 2 title, maybe a potential launch title.
Yeah, same.
And one thing is it is online only for the most part. Anything that requires a save, he mentioned in the interview, will require an online only thing because it's to prevent cheaters, is what their reasoning behind it is. I know there's some people that are going to be upset about this, but anybody that's stuck around with Gran Turismo for a while now knows that it's kind of like per the course, as per usual kind of deal. However, the arcade mode, which doesn't use any save file kind of stuff, will not require. So there still will be something else. The other thing is that this is going to have full-on weather simulation, and this is something that was missing from the VR version of GT Sport. Even the limited modes, this was something else, and I am super excited about the way he's describing this because they're talking about the races sometimes. They're trying to actually simulate weather and day and night, so it's not just like, oh, it just changes to day to night or changes to rain. It's actually going to like flow and have this effect. And it'll change the physics, like the entire physics of the race will change if it starts raining. And stuff like driving through puddles or driving through rain will actually splash water up from the tires. And so, man, I can't wait to see just these little tidbits that I'm hearing here. I'm like, yes, like this is one of the first Gran Turismos I've been really, really excited about in a long time.
Nice. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. All right, we should probably move on, though, because we spent quite a bit of time on this one.
Yep. Go ahead.
So tax refund and send us another $5 tip, man. Thank you so very much, man. We really, really appreciate your support. You're killing it out there. We love you a lot. Next news story, though, is Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife, which we announced yesterday on Without Parole, finally has a release date on PlayStation VR. AJ, when's the release date?
Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife, guys, is coming October 7th. I'm super duper excited about this one, man, because it's spooky month. Where is he? See more spooky game cats? It's spooky month, man. We need horror games. We need releases like this. And we've played this game on Quest 2, Brian.
Yeah.
And like this is solid. This is a solid game, and I'm very excited about this because last year sucked.
Yeah, there was last Halloween, last October really, really sucked, and there wasn't really much to get excited about as far as horror games. This game sort of went a little radio silent as far as PSVR was concerned, and we were just like, man, like if they're not saving it for October, then we don't know what's going on over there. And that's exactly what they were doing. So at the end of the first week in October, we'll be getting this for $30. And I talked to Andreas Juliuson over there at Fast Travel Games. He said even the PS4 version, the OG, will feature real-time shadows, and overall, it'll look more like the PC version than the Quest versions, which is Fantastic news, because as I said when I previewed it on Quest 1, you previewed it on Quest 2, and Dave, I think, previewed it on his Quest using a PC. So we all three of us sort of with different experiences, and I got the worst one. I think on Quest 1, it was just, it killed the atmosphere to have some stuttering frame rates and some, like, the textures and the graphics didn't look that great. And it just didn't run all that well. And so it sort of ruined my experience. Checking it on Quest 2, much better already, I'll say that. So good stuff, man. Very good stuff. And we'll be talking a lot more about Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife as we get closer to launch, just a couple weeks away. Jamie out with the $5 tip says Gran Turismo 7. You couldn't let it go. Makes me imagine photorealistic games in VR. It's going to blow my mind. Also, hashtag tip train, hashtag hire AJ. Thank you, Jay. We love you.
It's more about the physics. Anyways, Seymour Spooky Gamecat says, wasn't this game bad though? And no, I don't think it was a bad game by any means. I think the biggest criticism I said of it was maybe like I think it maybe could be a wait for a sale, but it's spooky month, man. If I didn't have anything to play and I needed something to play on Halloween, or October, I would absolutely be picking this game up. If you don't have any other options. It's got stealth. Like, I really like the stealth aspect of it. Brian, I love the interesting tidbits you just shared. I mean, that's something that we didn't know before.
Right.
They're saying that this is likely more on par with the PC version, which is, I think, similar to what Blair Witch was.
Yeah.
And that looked fantastic on this. So, yes, Virtual Strangers also. Wes, what's up, dude, in the house tonight? And he says, nice, this game is a slow burn, but it gets really good by the end. I agree. It is a slow-paced stealth game, but I love the atmosphere of it, and I think it's going to be even better on PSVR than my experience was with the Quest 2. Because the lenses, I know the resolution may take a little bit bump at most, but still, like you said, the dynamic lighting, the all of those, the lens, the contrast, the OLED screen is going to play a big role for me personally, and that's going to be nice.
Yeah. So when we previewed this game on a GamesCast, and I was like, I don't know, man, it's not doing it for me. Again, I was playing the Quest 1 version, but also I only made it halfway through the game. And so, and there was a part of me that said, I need to finish this so I know what I'm talking about. And the other half of me was like, fuck it. I'm going to be playing this on PlayStation VR. I want to experience this in the best way possible. And so I stopped, and I'm not going to replay it until I get my hands on the PlayStation VR version. And I'm going to, and then I will, that way I won't ruin the scares, which I do know that the second half is much better for scares and atmosphere, story, etc., etc., etc. So that way, at least most of the game will still be kind of fresh for me when I have to review it. So I'm looking forward to that big time, man. In October, can't get here soon enough.
Yes, sir. Amen to that. I gotta talk about some horror movies with you later.
Yeah.
But
first.
Anyways, next. But first, we've got work to do.
Yeah.
Because Beat Saber, fresh off the Skrillex pack, has announced now a Billie Eilish music pack that is launching on September 21st. I mean, that's a couple days away. That's pretty impressive that they had a back-to-back turnaround like that. And I wonder if this is something that is, a trend that we're going to see happening soon, or if this is just, they just happen to have two packs. But and Billie Eilish, man, I don't know her music a whole bunch. I've heard a couple songs. I actually thought it was pretty decent. But I do know that she is huge right now. And so I think this is actually a smart business move on their part.
Yeah, this is super important. This is them, they've hired more people over at Beat Games, and we're saying, well, they hired more people. There's more people mapping tracks. Where's the results of all of this? And now we're seeing the results of all of it. Skrillex just came out. Now we're seeing Billie Eilish very soon after Skrillex. And this is what we've been saying for a long time, is what Beat Saber, people have stopped buying every single DLC pack that's come out. Now they need to start finding audiences for each DLC pack. Billie Eilish fans will buy this, Skrillex fans bought that. They're not going to sell every single one to every single person anymore. And so this is the way forward for Beat Saber, and they need to keep doing this frequently. Like we need to see like every month another pack.
This is a current artist. This isn't something 20 years ago that they've been doing constantly. This is finally like a current artist. I think they haven't missed on every single one, but a lot of them. But yeah, I think this is a great move from them. And again, back to the marketing thing. I mean, she's got like 6.5 million Twitter followers, and she's tweeting about it. She's like, "Oh, my pack is
right.
My music pack is coming to Beat Saber and on Oculus Quest." No mention of PSVR, and this is just another example of Oculus slapping Sony around marketing wise. It's embarrassing sometimes.
They own Beat Saber. They own Beat Saber and Beat Games. Like this, obviously, this is what they want tweeted.
But This is a good move, though. This is a good move. This will probably get a bunch of people to go out and buy headsets, buy Oculus Quest at least. And, I just hope Sony gets their shit together by the time PSVR 2 comes around. I don't want to see them dragging their feet with the marketing.
Yeah, I think they've got that all under control. And for any Billie Eilish fans out there, this will have 10 songs from 3 different albums: When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, and Happier Than Ever. It's going to be $13 for 10 songs. I don't know Billie Eilish very well at all. I've heard a couple songs here and there. And so before the show, I just asked my Amazon Echo Show. I said, "Hey, Alexa, play me some Billie Eilish." And she played 3 or 4 songs. They all sounded... Hey, Alexa. So I said it quietly, man, so that this wouldn't happen. Hold on.
You need to also mute. You need to mute
Alexa,
when you say that. No.
Stop the music.
Oh, dude, oh my God. So many people in the chat are going to be pissed at you. You need to mute your microphone when you do that.
You understand that's not how things work.
No?
That's not how things work here. Nope.
All right. We'll see if, no, I don't know.
No, I'm saying I can't mute my microphone during this show.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't
that's
know that.
impossible for me to do without jumping
it's
through.
Already popping up in the chat. There's Zack Attack. He said, "Dang it, Brian."
Listen, I thought I said it quietly enough to not trigger mine. I'm sorry for triggering yours. That is too fucking
you
funny.
You cannot do that live on the air. Yeah, you need to unplug your microphone or something.
Right.
Oh, man.
So anyway, yeah, I played 3 or 4 songs. They all sounded very, very similar, and I kept saying, "Next song, please. Next song, please. Next song." And I was like, "Wow, this is like I didn't realize." So I don't know. Like I'm curious. Because I don't know, she's super popular, and
yeah. First time I ever heard her was actually the Gamecat meetup at Six Flags, and I was like, "Hey, it's a cool beat. It's got a cool beat." Actually, their song was in Audica too, and I played it there, and it was pretty cool. I think it was called Bad Guy. I think it had a good beat to it. It sounded cool. But yeah, good pickup by them. Congratulations to them.
Absolutely.
Keep showing Sony how to market stuff.
We got Ben Dawson with the 10 quid saying, "Hey Brian, can we please get a new best horror list in time for Halloween, especially with the new kids on the block such as Layers of Fear, Blair Witch, and not forgetting Horror Adventure VR." Yeah, Ben Dawson, I would absolutely love to do that. I'm trying to kind of get my whole schedule for October lined up, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I want to make sure that October is packed with awesome Halloween, October, scary, spooky stuff, and a top list would be great. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that. Thank you so much. All right, dude.
I missed part of the conversation there. All I heard was, I love Halloween and topless would be great. I don't know what you're talking about. What?
We got to move on to our next topic. That's the important thing, man. The next topic is Synth Riders. What is the news of Synth Riders this week, man?
Oh, man. Okay, so a band that I do know very, very well. One of my favorite bands of all time, and that is Muse. Synth Riders recently announced that, man, huge news. Let me get their tweet, because they say it themselves. They say, "Join Muse on an interstellar rock journey through their greatest hits, including Uprising and a unique Starlight experience. The Muse Music Pack DLC is now available on Quest, but it is coming to PSVR on September 29th. And I've got some amazing things to say about this and a couple criticisms as well. But I am super excited about this. I love Muse. Like, that's why I love Synth Riders, because they get music that I really love, bands that I really love. I've seen this band live. They're super great. And, yeah, I'm very happy about this pack coming to Synth Riders. Brian.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Muse is good. I'm not, like, in love with Muse, but, like, Muse is good. Anytime I hear Muse, I go, this is good. And then, but I haven't bought a single album, and I'm like not going out of my way to listen to them. So let's just say I like them. I don't love them. I played new tracks today, and sadly, this didn't change my perception of experiences in Synth Riders. I know. I think I might be the only person on this island by myself out there. Everyone else
doesn't get it.
everyone else loves experiences. Like, it's so amazing, and I'm like, this looks like a bunch of fucking clip art that somebody threw together, and just like, oh, they said the word ship, and now there's a ship. It's like, oh, no, whatever. It just to me it feels so cheap, and I'm like, I'd rather just play the game, man. And it's like, it's good and I'm really, really happy that I'm the only person on this island that doesn't care for the experiences, because that means everyone else is enjoying them, and Synth Riders is doing the right thing. It's just not for me. I played the other tracks today on Quest. Thank you to Parole over there at Kluge Interactive who supplied us with some keys.
Thank you.
And man, like, the music is great and the mapping is great and it's a lot of fun, as Synth Riders always is. But yeah, it didn't blow me away or anything.
It did blow me away, and I can articulate why, Brian, or at least the best that I can.
Go for it.
First of all, let me just say there were 5 songs added to this: Uprising, Reapers, Starlight, Pressure, and Madness. Now, I have like at least 50, 60 possible songs that like I absolutely adore from Muse, that like songs that like got me through hard times, and that I just absolutely love. They're very heavy and rock and roll, but they're also very melodic, and just really unique. I feel like they're one of the best modern bands of this generation. And yeah, this is the thing though. Of these song selections, I was kind of like, oh, like this almost scared me to where I was like, oh, don't go the Beat Saber route, where it's like, I love this band, and you add this band, like how they added Green Day, but then they added like these songs and stuff that were kind of like popular, but they weren't necessarily the songs that really put them on the map. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like the songs that came after they got, like, everybody loved them and they got big. And it's like, but they didn't completely do that. I think two of the songs they kind of whiffed on here when it came to the mapping and just the general feel of the song. I think Madness and Pressure were not the greatest song choices for this. However, let me tell you about what they did with Uprising that I think is super, super cool. And I don't know if you noticed this, but I've been excited about to tell you. This stuff that happened in Uprising with the mapping is the reason I love Synth Riders so much, is the reason this game captures my heart. Because there's a part in the song where it's talking about, the lyrics are talking about, so this real quick, it's all like a concept album. It's kind of based on like 1984, and so it's got this cool theme to it. But Uprising has this part in the lyrics where it says, they will not control us. And while it's saying they will not control us, it actually made me do like a puppet thing with my hands, and I felt it. And that's the kind of shit right there that Synth Riders does that absolutely blew my mind when the lyrics match the movements that you're doing. It makes this, it like transcends everything. And yeah, that part, I'm freaking out about it because how amazing that was. And if Synth Riders can do this all the time and like kind of emulate what the words are saying with your movements and stuff, that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in VR, period, right there. Did you even notice that when you were playing?
Yeah, I love the mapping. I think the mapping is really great, man. I think they did some very cool things with the mapping. That's it's the visuals during the experience that that drag me down. It's certainly not the mapping. I don't have any problem with Synth Riders mapping, ever.
Yeah, really. It wasn't the experience song. I'm just mean like,
I know.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's the shit that like absolutely blows my mind. The experience, Starlight, not one of my favorite songs, probably, but it was okay for this, I guess. It was a really popular song, but there's a part where it talks about like holding, and like it actually makes you like make the movement, like the gesture of like holding. But that Uprising one, man, to me, that made this entire pack worth it, because like it's just such a song about defiance and rising up and like, you know, fighting back against the man. And that's what I've always loved about Synth Riders is it has this kind of whole like anti-corporation tone about it, like rebellious tone. I was really rebellious when I was younger, and this game just has so much like attitude to it and stuff that I just absolutely love. But yeah, that shit was so freaking cool to me. And yeah, overall, because of the 3 songs, Uprising, Reaper, and The Experience, Starlight, which by the way, you know, I know you talked about that ship stuff, but if you play that on like no fail mode or something and like actually look around, there's like planets, like there was like a Saturn and another planet, like and there was like lights and stars and comets and all this stuff is absolutely gorgeous. I still like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say I like the other one more, but yeah, man, I'm just, as if you couldn't tell, like I'm just super excited about this. I love this band and I love some of the mapping they did in this.
I'm really, really happy. So I think your opinions on this reflect 99% of the people who play Synth Riders. I'm just out there, you know, all by myself. I think it's a good game. I was in love with it when I played it at launch, and that love affair is ending quickly, I feel like. And so I think I need to get into multiplayer to reinvigorate my love for this. And so if anybody's down to play some Synth Riders multiplayer to get me going, I still haven't played it. I still haven't played multiplayer, so I think that's what's going to pull me back in and make me fall back in love with this game. We'll do it soon, I promise.
Super excited about this, man. Yeah, I definitely, at the very least, I got to recommend Uprising solo singles track. But really, you know, like I said, wasn't crazy about Pressure or Madness. I don't think they were good fits. I think they're too slow and boring. Well, Madness I think was too slow and boring. But to fit with Synth Riders. And I felt like they kind of missed a little bit here because Muse has it's Synth Riders. Muse has so many like 80s retro stylish, like synth wavy infused rock and roll songs. And I'm like, they kind of missed a couple. Like they had a lot of songs to choose from and they missed some, but it's all good. Cause that shit, like I said, some of that mapping more than made up for it for me.
And before we get to our final topic of the show, which I can't believe it's taken this long for us to get here, we got Jay Meow with the $2 tip. Says, hey AJ, remember Brian said that Beat Saber had better music? Love it. Ben
Listen,
Dawson.
Man,
yeah.
I mean, look, music is subjective. So, you know, as much as I disagree with him, like, it's okay. You can like whatever music you like.
You know what the great thing is that you can own both games. That's the great thing. You don't have to choose one. They allow you to purchase both of them. Also, we got Ben Dawson with the 5 quid saying, you guys rock. Thank you. You rock too.
Thank you, Ben Dawson. You rock.
Guys, positive comments. Seymour, Spooky Gamecast, with the $2 tip says, AJ's going to lose his mind when we get Just Dance VR.
I think, was that a Move game? Was that an original Move controller game?
I do feel like they tried to shoehorn Move support into that.
Yeah. I think, or it was like, I don't remember what it was. Elliot C says, God damn it, Alexa's going nuts. I think they're a little behind on the stream.
I think so. Do you think so?
But yeah, man.
All right, man. We're going to get to our final topic here, and then, of course, 20 questions. But first, we've got Ultrawings next. Bit Planet Studios just tweeted today that in 7 days, they're going to officially reveal the next Ultrawings game. And that is crazy exciting.
Yes, for those who don't know, Ultrawings is a sort of early on, the closest thing that we ever had to like a flight simulator. Mm-hmm. And I love it. It does support the HOTAS. It actually supports like almost everything, but it supports the HOTAS. But I love playing this with the Move controllers because they've got the in-game joystick and all the little buttons and throttles and different things you can tinker with manually. And it has great tracking. And this game is just a super great flight sim with a ton of different modes and features. And we are 7 days from seeing the reveal of Ultrawings next, which I can't wait to see. I'm super excited for this one.
Yeah. In the corner here, I've got playing most of the animated GIFs that the developer has shared with the little previews of the upcoming Ultrawings next. There's going to be a focus on combat, which it's so fun to just kind of read through the Bit Planet BitPlanet Studios Twitter account. You just kind of scroll through their feed and you start getting a pretty good feel about what the next game is going to be like, because they said there's going to be a focus on combat, but they said also don't worry, for anyone who's played the original game and is concerned about the focus on combat, we didn't forget what made the original game great. And that is really, really reassuring, because sometimes just flying from one airport to another, discovering the new airports, discovering the new planes was the best part of that game. Don't you agree?
What was the best part? I had
know.
to say what's up to Dave.
Hey, what's up, Dave? See, look how easy that was. Didn't even have to stop listening to the only other person on the show.
I just want to say, hey, Dave, I love you, Dave. What was the best part you said?
For me, one of the best parts was just kind of like picking a direction, exploring the map, finding another airport, finding another plane. So people have been a little bit concerned that combat, this new focus on combat, is going to ruin what made Ultrawings great. And I was like, I don't think so. I think it's just gonna add to what made Ultrawings great.
I didn't find the exploration my favorite part, because a lot of it was just open water, and because it was an early on game, it wasn't like super detailed or these super amazing environments to like explore. Like there wasn't like this. There was a little bit of sense of discovery, like when you fly in the distance and then you suddenly see this giant statue like kind of appear, and then there's like a city and stuff. There was a little bit of that, but from what we know about this game, this is going to have like 10 times the amount of that, which is going to be really cool. For me, I really like the progression and the challenges. I like the mini games, and there's one where you fly through rings. There's one where you shoot balloons. There's one where you, even that god awful one, something I liked, even though I thought it was terrible, I actually did like the photography one, where you had to try. It was, I don't know how I feel about it, but I did. There was something oddly addicting about it, but it was really challenging. But yeah, adding combat to it, I mean, yeah, that's cool. I'm sure it'll have a lot of the other stuff. I want to see it add as much as possible. And like we said, from what we remember, if I remember correctly, they mentioned stuff like 250 missions currently in it, and like that the world map is absolutely huge. So I don't know. For me, I'd say the progression, the challenges, the unlocking of the new ships, and like the mini games and the stunt flying. I mean, that was some fun shit right there. Like flying between buildings, and there was a lot of stuff. This was something that Ace Combat 7 didn't get right in its free flight mode. Was that it was like there was not a lot of stuff to fly through, not a lot of stuff to experiment with and kind of challenge yourself. And this game did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. It's one of the few games that really allows me to do the thing in VR that I really, really want from Grand Theft Auto 5. And that's fly, control a vehicle with one hand and shoot with the other hand. And that's why those balloon missions were so much fun for me. I was like, oh, we're shooting balloons? I don't care. But I was like, no, I do care, because I get to shoot balloons with a fucking pistol while I'm flying around. And then, yeah, as you said, the photography stuff was actually really good, even though it was a little. God, I was trying to remember what the problem with that was. I think the controls were just a little convoluted, but man, like adding.
I think it was just that, and it was a little convoluted. Plus, it was. I think it was really challenging, but I did eventually get through it, and challenge is good. I should always encourage like a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, anything that gives you something. I feel like incorporating some kind of hidden object game into a game like Ultrawings, like what are you doing here, right? But it takes this environment that you've created, it takes all these mechanics that you've created, and adds almost a different, like this gigantic different gameplay element into the mix. And I love when developers get to sort of explore what's possible within their own game like that. And so these guys seem really creative. And they've taken their time with Ultrawings too. I know they ported the first one to the flat screen and then over to Switch and everything else. But I can't imagine it was their full team doing that. What's that?
They have a flat screen version of this game?
Yeah, I think it's called Ultrawings Flat.
Yeah, I think I do remember that now. Well, yeah. They'll probably. I wonder if they'll do the same thing with this one then. But But yeah, I hope visually this one looks a lot more enhanced, a lot more detailed. I mean, you've got this loop of some of these teasers that we've been given, but yeah, some of the missions and stuff I like the combat, the idea of combat. And do you think there's also the helicopter, which should be really cool. I love, ever since like Battlefield Vietnam, I always loved flying helicopters in games from like first person. Do you think there's a chance we get multiplayer in this one?
Yeah, I was actually thinking that that it could be a really, really cool addition. I don't know. I'd assume that if I was in charge of making the sequel to Ultrawings, that would be the very first thing I'd say to my team. I'd say the first one was great. It was a single player experience. Can we get multiplayer into the sequel? There's a part of me that just says, yeah, of course we can. And it's that, but also I think the bigger question is like, what platform is this going to land on? Do you think that, because we don't know. They said they're going to officially reveal Ultrawings next in a week. Doesn't mean the game is coming out the week after that. It could totally be a year out. They could be saying, hey, we got a long time ahead of us, but we wanted to show you what we've been working on over the last few years. So could it be a next-gen PSVR title?
Well, I think it's absolutely going to end up on there one way or another.
That's true.
I have a feeling it's a current gen VR game because of how long it's been in development and how long we've been waiting to hear something about this. We've been following this for 2-3 years now. This game,
yeah.
I mean, this was an early GAMESCAST where me, you, me, and Dave covered this, and so it's just been a long time. And I know the pandemic probably delayed some things, but I'm just super excited. I love the gameplay in this game. And this being basically a bigger, better version of the first is like exactly what I would have asked for.
Nice. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. Exactly. I don't think these guys can do too much wrong when it comes down to this. They just need to make a bigger, better version of Ultrawings 1, and I think that's what they're doing.
What do you prefer playing this game with? I prefer the Move controllers. What do you prefer playing with?
It's been a while since I picked it up. I haven't even had it installed on my PlayStation 5, so that gives you an idea of when the last time I played Ultrawings was.
Let me guess. 3D rudder.
Yeah, it was funny to go through their Twitter feed and say, "Hey guys, just an apology. We updated. We pushed out a new patch that makes the 3D rudder work in this new patch, and sorry for the bug on the last one." And I was like, no one cares. No one cares. Fuck the 3D rudder. That thing was a piece of shit. But yeah, Move controllers.
Move controllers all day.
Yeah,
all day.
DualShock is so much easier. You just like click a button, like, turn the whatever, start it up, do that, whatever. But man, getting to reach out and like turn the key and then pull the throttle or to move things, I don't remember, man. It's been a while, but I do remember the tactile feeling of Ultrawings 1 was pretty awesome. I loved it. And again, steer, shoot. You need two ways.
Without Parole hype scale, or do you need to see the trailer first? You want to go through that after the trailer?
I'm in a 7 because I think the trailer will push me up to like a 9.
7?
But I'm in a 7.
Dude, 7,
dude. With that, we've seen almost nothing. Like I don't think these guys can do any wrong. But what if it?
So much. We've seen so much from the clip that you have running. All right, I'm at least a middle 8s.
Okay.
At least.
It doesn't give you much room to grow, man. You're going to be at a solid 11 by the time the trailer comes out.
Good. Nice. Hopefully they've earned it.
I hope so too. We got Jay Meow in the chat with the $2 tip. Says that was a waste of $2. I wanted AJ to throw chairs. That was in reference to the Beat Saber tip. Dude, do you know what time it is?
It is 20 questions time, Brian.
It is 20 questions time.
I believe it or not, I used to hate this segment. Now I really look forward to it. What have you done to me?
I don't know. It's not easy. I do love it though. Big fan. All right.
Win or lose, I have a good time now.
For sure. Dude, if it wasn't for the chat, this game wouldn't be fun at all. So thank you guys so much for being here and participating and helping out whoever's playing. Sorry, Tornado, that's your tail. Let me just move your tail so I can get my paper over here. I'm the host, right? Am I the host today?
You are the host. I hope you have a game picked.
Oh, do I have a game picked? Are you ready? Oh, everybody out there, if this is your first time playing, just you got 20 yes or no questions to figure out what PlayStation VR game I'm thinking of. AJ is going to be asking the questions and keeping an eye on the chat. Please give your suggestions, your answers, your questions, anything you've got. The only two stipulations are one, if you guess wrong, you lose, and the other is you only have 6 minutes. I'm going to put the timer up on the screen from Timertopia, 6-minute timer. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right, go.
Oh, man. Does this game take place in space?
No, that's one.
Does this game have flying?
No. No flying.
Is this game does this game have full locomotion?
Yes. Yes, it does. Full locomotion.
Does it have zombies in it?
It does not have zombies in it.
Does not have zombies in it. Does it use the moves?
It does use the moves, and that's 5.
Okay.
Speaking of 5, Hugh Guyver with the Australian $5 tip says Ultrawings was my first feeling of flying in VR. Looking forward to the sequel, PSVR. Thank you so much. I had your cousin Mac.
Is it? Does it have aim support? Let's go with old Darth's question here.
It does not have aim support.
Okay. Okay. Does this game have dinosaurs in it? Or I'm gonna get that one in here this time, just in case. Just in case you're double dipping on the dinosaurs.
Does not have dinosaurs.
Dang. Okay. We need to find out the genre. Is it a puzzle game?
I wouldn't classify it as one. There are puzzles.
Okay. And you did say it has move support, right?
I did.
And full locomotion? Okay. Is it a... Let's see. You said it's got puzzles in it. Is it a fantasy game? Like medieval fantasy?
It is not a fantasy game.
Okay. Let's see. Is it made by... Let's see. Are there enemies in this? Good question, Wolfrazzi. Are there enemies in this game?
I mean, no.
No?
Not in the way that you think of enemies, no.
Okay. It's got puzzle stuff. What's the timer at?
3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes. Is it sports related?
It is not sports related.
Yeah, puzzles, sports doesn't really. Is it racing related? Or does it have racing?
Does not have racing.
Not sports, not racing. We're on 12?
12.
Is it a horror game?
It is a horror game.
It is a horror game.
Finally
Shit.
on the right track.
A horror game with move support. Is it based off a popular IP?
It is not based off a popular IP.
Okay.
I wonder if it's based on an unpopular IP.
So damn, I was gonna go Immortal Legacy, but you said there's no enemies in it, and that definitely has enemies. Let's see, a horror game with puzzles and damn, there's so many good suggestions. Have these developers made another game, a PSVR game?
These developers have made another PSVR game.
Okay, we got 5 questions left.
Yep.
How much time?
You got 2 minutes left.
Is it a game that I like?
I think so.
Does this game have a lot of bugs?
I mean, some.
Like game-breaking bugs?
I didn't experience any. I don't think that's been a thing that's been reported now.
Is there stealth?
I don't recall any stealth. You have one more question and a guess.
One more question and a guess. You did a home run here. How much time?
You got a minute and a half.
All right, we have enough time. He says he thinks I like this game.
I think so.
They've made other games. They've made other PSVR games. Think I like this game. I'm seeing, let's see, Home Sweet Home, Blair. Well, they haven't made another PSVR game. FNAF hasn't made another PSVR game. Blair Witch has made another.
45
Blair
seconds.
Witch has, but it's not based off a popular IP. We've already done The Impatient before.
Oh, my nose just got really itchy.
Shit, I need something super. Does it have ghosts in it?
I'm going to give you a free answer. I don't think ghosts, no. I don't think so, no. No. But maybe, kind of. Get 3 seconds.
Transference.
It is not transference.
Damn it.
The funny thing is, I'll just tell you what it is. It's by Wolfenwood Interactive.
Chair in the room.
Chair in the room, Greenwater.
I saw somebody saying that.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't see it. I didn't see it in the chat. I wasn't keeping a close eye on the
Man.
chat for this one.
I saw somebody saying
But
that.
but it definitely has some bugs, but not game breaking. It certainly isn't like Exorcist
No,
problems.
definitely not game breaking.
Dang ghosts, but more like,
I was this close, you guys. I was
more
this
psychological.
freaking close. I was so close to that.
Yeah. But
Dang.
yeah, dude, it's almost, it's like October Eve. That's what like all of September month is. So got to start
Johnny
ringing.
No Pockets. Johnny No Pockets was saying it. Man.
Oh really? Man, I gotta
Great
take
game, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of this game.
you are. Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, when you said you weren't sure, yeah, I don't know.
I said yeah,
Dang
I think
it.
so. Yeah, but
I'm a big fan of this game.
okay. Good. I can't wait to replay this. This is certainly going to be one that I'll be streaming over the course of October. I'm going to be streaming a lot of horror games during the month of October. So if you're not familiar with this one, guys, go check out my review or hold off and hang out for a stream. But either way, you should definitely be picking this one up if you need some horror games. This is an underappreciated horror game. I think it doesn't get talked a lot about.
I don't think Spectravision made any other games, did they?
I can't think of any other games that Spectravision made.
Any other PSVR games?
I can't think of any. I can't even think of any other flat screen games they made. Just want to make sure I don't miss any tips. We got All You Are Is History, the game shrimp with the $2 tips. As I blame AJ again. #fire AJ.
It was a tricky one, man. I was really confident about that, and I had Chair in the Room in my mind, and I just couldn't piece it together.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so very much for hanging out with us. It was always a good time. I want to thank Miles Dyer. I want to thank Jamie. I want to thank all the moderators, and of course, Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry, killing it out there. Thank you. You're all the best. I love you so much. And of course, the person I couldn't do this without, AJ from PSVR Underground. #hire AJ. Guys, we love you so very much. Thank you so much for everybody who donated in the chat. Thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. And thank you to everybody who sat back, watched the show, and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there. And we love you just as much. AJ, can I cue the cat?
Cue the cat, Brian, because I want to wish everybody a happy weekend. Have fun out there, guys. Play some VR games to Cerebral Frost to the top. We'll make our top 50, and I can't wait. I'm going to put that in a good spot, too. All You Are Is History, the game shrimp. All You Are Is History hasn't even seen the greatness that is Candy Love yet, Brian.
What?
Mark Doust, Justin Cassidy, Imzadi, Guyson, fist up to you, Johnny No Pockets, a.k.a. Who Dat? I should have listened to you. Secrets of. Thank you so much. Mick Coles, throw some shapes for me. Bargle Soft. Have a great weekend, friend. Old Darth. Thank you, man. Glad you enjoyed the show. Jesse J, the Terra Mage Game Cat. Peace out to you. Gatos. LC2552, the musical game cat. The musical game cat. Stevie Dan, the solo game cat. Big Muse fan as well. And I think it probably has to do. I think Muse is from his neck of the woods. If I had to deduce some facts, Flame Hat Game Cat. Have a great weekend, friend. ET.2K9.now. We'll get you next time. And I agree. Zach Attack, thank you so much. EC13, the Diet Pepsi Cat Aftershocks hype on the 23rd. Let's go, guys. Ian Stanbridge has it right here. And he says, AJ knew the answer, but just didn't want to show up. I know, man. I'm too humble to get this one right.
That's not a...
Had to give Brian a win somewhere because he's wrong so often. So I had to help him out a little bit, make him feel a little better. Got to get his confidence boosted, right, Brian? All right, good friend.
I don't know.
All right, good friend. You.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think humble is a phrase I've used to describe you ever. So let's go with no.
Emily Baxter, the hashtag. Speaking of not humble, Emily Baxter, the hashtag Game Kitten. Says I have green water, a bong in a room. VR. Dan Kiefer, DJ the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Shout out to you, Confusing Game Cat, Donatello Scientist Game Cat. Have a ninja slice on me, my friend. Have a great weekend, Zach Lightning and Salvador, and all my good peeps that I love and cherish so much. You guys, stay safe out there. Watch some horror movies. Get horror week started, horror month started. We got to talk about some horror movies later, Brian.
I heard that we're supposed to talk about horror movies later.
Yes.
You want to just come back now and talk about them publicly?
Yeah, let's do it. I somehow, there we are. I'm a big fan of John Carpenter movies, and I'm a big fan of Sam Neill, Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park, and I somehow had never seen or don't remember In the Mouth of Madness, and so I watched In the Mouth of Madness last night.
So good.
And it was dope.
Yeah. It's classic.
Yes. Classic. And then I told you, I texted you or something. I asked if you had watched High Tension, which I think it's like a French movie, and it's called like Hot Tension something.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. And that was actually, fun fact, that was the first time I had ever heard Muse. They had this song called Newborn. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, I love this sequence in this movie with this song. And I was like, let me see what this band is, who this is, and it was Muse. And since that day, I fell in love with Muse. So good.
I've got if we're talking horror movies, then I'm going to talk right back at you then, because I agree with The Secrets of in the chest as The Empty Man is worth watching. I totally agree. That came out of nowhere. I'd never even heard of it, and I watched it. It was fantastic. The Empty Man is great. But the one that I watched, I think about a month ago, it was called Butterfly Kisses. Very found footage type movie, different take on a horror movie, or different take on a found footage movie. Very, very similar to a found footage movie. Anyway, but it's interesting, not not super scary, but it had me on the edge of my seat. Really, really enjoyed that one. And then last night, actually, let's rewind a little bit. About a week ago, I'd rewatched Insidious 1 after being kind of disappointed or very disappointed with Malignant. I was like, let's see James Wan at his best, and I rewatched Insidious 1. I turned off all the lights, turned off my cell phone, it was like, I'm going to experience this in the dark, blast the volume, and it had been a while since I'd watched it, and man, that movie is so good. The first Insidious movie is so good that even though I knew specific scares were coming, I still get chills down my spine, I still jumped, I still had a great time, and I was like, I got to do this again for Insidious 2, and I did that last night, and it was amazing. Insidious, I've forgotten more about Insidious 2 than I remembered. I don't know why. I don't give it a lot of love. I go, oh yeah, it's just more of the first movie, but it's not, man. The sequel is fantastic, and I have judged it unfairly. I think I've always been like, oh yeah, it's okay. The first one's better. I think the second one might actually be better. Good stuff, guys. If you haven't watched the Insidious series, definitely watch it. I love all four of those.
I was a little underwhelmed with those. They weren't necessarily my kind of style, but no, they were my style. But I thought I can't stand when a movie spends the whole movie building up to something and then barely shows anything. I like to feel like that shit is stalking you the entire movie. And those are my favorites, where stuff actually happens throughout the movie. those are typically my favorite types of movies.
Interesting, because the family
even-
in Insidious 1 and 2, at least, like I feel like that they are like at wits end. They like don't know what to do, and like they're every time they turn a corner, it's just like they got forced out of their house, and then they went to another house, and it followed them there. It's like I felt like they were totally stuck the entire time. So I to me, it feels like these are perfect for you. Which is interesting. Jamie out
man.
the $2 tip says, "Hey AJ, Brian says PSVR sucks. Now throw chairs, please."
What does that even mean? Throw chairs? Like
Get upset. Flip the tables. Yeah, like we
No,
want you. We
I've
want you
got
to get
a lot
upset.
of expensive equipment that you guys have helped me pay for some of this. I'm not going to do that. The Descent, says Stevie Dan the Soul. I love The Descent, both 1 and 2. I'm a big creature feature guy. Also, American Werewolf in London is like one of my favorite movies ever. I know I made you try to watch that, and I don't think it got to you as much as it got to me. But
Didn't love it. No.
I had nightmares. I mean, that's an old movie, so I had like nightmares around that time.
For older movies, I needed to have seen them when they were newer, when I was younger. I feel like going back to old horror movies, if you hadn't seen them before, it doesn't always work out. But I don't know. To each his own. I totally get it.
Guys, we have a movie section in the Discord. We need to have a movie talk.
For sure. Thanks for hanging out for another episode of the Litter Box.
Yes, right.
Right, I haven't done a litter box in a while, but I just got a text from Jeremy.
Maybe we should do a horror movie litter box if you wanted to. I don't know.
So we could talk about horror movies all day, and that sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out for the bonus footage, the after credit scene. We love you guys so very much. Thank you for being part of our community. We love you all. Meow.
Have a great weekend.
This is weird. I'm going to end the stream and we're still on camera. Bye. There are windows that keep popping up in front of the end stream button. It's going to happen.